controlling the other phone with this one.
Well, so this one is going to be in the Stallhigh app. That one's hooked to the TikTok page with the most viewership. Hey guys. God, that's a pretty name. Carlito. Oh, you were here yesterday. I saw you. All right, top 15 challengers. We're getting ready to roll here. Let me set up this phone.
Hey, do you know where she goes? Because it took me to Facebook page and I can't find my Zoom.
Okay. You need to go to your Zoom meetings right here. Is that right?
Yeah, but I clicked. I already went to start though.
Okay, we're going to start it again. Open Zoom meetings. Got it. Okay. And we're already live. You're good. Okay. You're perfect. You got this, Shelly.
Thank you.
All right. So welcome. All right. So yours is already rolling on that side.
Thank you for saying that.
We got this. We're a 2-woman team and we're going to make it work. All right. Is it round 8 already, Shelly?
Yes, ma'am. Tonight.
Welcome back to the Top 15 Challenge. It is round 8 of the National Finals Rodeo. It is day 8 of the Top 15 Challenge, and you are going to have a special opportunity to learn even more today in Top 15 Challenge as we bring you world champion wisdom right here from this stunning Murrell trailer. We are parked in the valet section of the Plaza Hotel at 1 Main Street in Las Vegas. I'm Kendra Dixon, your host, and I'm really excited to introduce our amazing friend, you're also a sponsor. So it is United Country Real Estate.
Tennessee Real Properties.
Tennessee Real Properties. It's kind of a mouthful. You have
It
a lot
is.
going on.
Yes.
Okay,
Totally.
so you're a barrel racer. You and I first connected on a marketing kind of.
As you seen that.
Then we realized we're both barrel racers. We're both believers. We both commit what we do to the Lord.
Absolutely.
Let's kind of get started with your barrel racing background because the primary audience is interested in rodeo and you're going to have a lot of barrel racers watching today. So tell us when you got started in barrel racing and where are you at today?
Got started, probably around 14 years old. Started out in 4-H, then joined the NBHA back when it was just a 3D. And so 3 division before it went to 4D. Or actually now it's 5D, right?
Yeah.
Some have gone up to 5D and fell in love with it. Back then, I was 18 years old. In 99, I won Georgia NBHA Youth State Champion.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big accomplishment. Went on and did some things and then got married, have kids, and then life, you know how busy. Sometimes you have to put your recreational stuff on hold. But yeah, so it's been a long time. I still have my barrel horses, but I don't really have time to barrel race right now. But they're there. They're waiting on me and they're talented. But building a business, as you well know, sometimes that's what we have to do.
I can definitely relate. And you know, it took me a long time to get out of the cycle of guilt.
Yeah.
You know, what the mainstream or what the majority of barrel racing tells us is that you've got to be so committed and so stringent. You have to be riding your horses an hour a day. And that's simply not true. I mean, we have to balance work, family life, our sanity, our physical health, and take care of our horses. And sometimes when you try to, you know, do everything to the fullest capacity, you empty yourself and there's no more to give. So what are some of those challenges you've experienced that now help you like have a checklist and know when you need to turn the horses out for a minute?
Well, it's real simple. I felt like just starting my day with the Lord first, because that's we're asked to do that. Sets the pace for the rest of the day. And I feel like when I do that, because there's going to be crazy days when you least expect it. So I feel like I deal with the blows a little bit better. But starting it with him and letting him guide, you know, and because I can be impulsive at times and then say yes to everything. So I have found that's been the key, is consulting with the Lord first thing in the morning and asking for direction and wisdom, with that wisdom understanding to navigate. And that keys to answer the question helps with that balance of guilt. We know who that comes from, right? It doesn't come from the Lord.
Well, they may not. So if you're struggling with guilt right now, that you feel like you're not doing enough, but you don't have enough hours in the day, where does guilt come from?
Well, guilt comes from Satan. It comes from the enemy, and his job is to steal, kill, and destroy. And then that happens to us, emotionally, physically. I think if it starts the emotions, then that affects you physically, where you're tired. At that point, what starts out as you beating yourself up, then turns into exhaustion, and then you're really not able to do anything well at that point. So, making sure first and foremost that I spend time with the Lord, and then things can still go crazy, and they do. It seems like it's channeled a lot better. So that's how I have found to work against any of the things that I might face as far as you're not doing all, because we, especially as women, I feel like we think that we're supposed to be good at all of these things, and it's like you said, it's simply not true. We do the best we can, and there's certain seasons where we might have to put recreation on the shelf and barrel racing on the shelf for a little while.
My horses are turned out right now. So I have two that have been in training, and I've been sharing each training session throughout this year and for my interactive members throughout the Stall High app. But when we really shifted gears and started putting so much energy into Top 15 Challenge, getting to Las Vegas, how was this going to work? Well, I just pulled the shoes off of my two horses and said, I'll see you in January. Because I know once I get home from this, for us, it will be a total of 14 days in Las Vegas. I'm going to need to kick it neutral for a minute. I'm going to need to spend time with my family. We've got Christmas coming up. And unfortunately, like you, I had to learn the hard way. I didn't necessarily take advice from people who tried to help me early on. And I got, figuratively, the wind knocked out of me. And so I've learned that when life does throw curveballs, when I am more grounded in my prayer time like you, it doesn't devastate me like it used to.
Yeah. And that's what I found. The more that I focus on that and build that, the growth, what he says, like through the tribulation and through the trials, how much we gain as a result of going through that fire, through that trial. Whereas if and I wouldn't trade any of it because of the growth, and you can look back on the growth, and that growth plays into everything, not just your business or barrel racing, but your relationships with people and your family. I find that when I don't spend the time that I should with the Lord, then when crazy comes, because it does, my responses and things may not always be, I might be a little sharper, in my, so that's the key for me, and it really should be for all of us, really, but is to start the day with him, because troubles will come.
Mm-hmm.
We were told they would, and I think it does grounds me. So
You're not alone. If you feel like you are just at the end of your rope and life is just like you just can't catch a break, so many people are there right now, and we're reaching out to you because we want to help. We've been there as well. And we're not saying that life is perfect. We're not saying that rodeo and anxiety free is even a thing. One of the athletes the other night at the end of his interview, he thought we cut the camera, and he was like, is that even possible? Well, we don't know unless we try, but that is our goal. And if we can save one entry fee, one migraine headache, one teardrop, it's worth doing. It's worth doing all of this. And the fact that we get to talk to our sponsors and athletes and fellow peers in the industry and ask, how much does faith factor in? What does your morning routine look like? Are you spending like 5 minutes or 20 minutes? Does it depend? Like, help us out. Help us know like exactly what works for you. So that we don't we're not following a recipe.
Yeah.
We have Stephanie Cross's recipe.
Well, it can be any of our recipes, because I think, again, it comes back to it's our relationship with the Lord. And there are times where there's a lot of different variables. There's times where you can plan to have plenty of time to have your morning quiet time with reading and prayer, and then something comes up because the enemy would love to, distract us. So there are times that it may be I'm able to give a good solid hour, but then there's other times where I'm gonna shut some things down in my truck and talk to him on the way and sing praises and speak psalms over the day. I think it just varies, and the Lord understands, and that's the thing that I think we've had to say to ourselves is that He loves us and He sees that effort and try. So it doesn't have to look like an hour or 30 minutes. That's where legalism I think comes in. So
It's so good.
but I've been there, so I had to learn the hard way of like through even just being legalistic to ourselves, which is like you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing this, and that's not coming from Him. So yeah, to answer your question, because I can get off a little bit, it is that there is no, that's not His way. There is no, you've got to spend an hour there. Just have a relationship with Him. Yeah.
It's so parallel with our horses. They just want a relationship,
Yeah.
guys. They didn't sign up. Like they probably didn't pick you, right? They didn't put down money and sign the transfer slip for you.
Yeah.
And so buying into the traditional program that you have to do more and you have to lope circles and you have to drill. Well, we're actually as a brand and as a community waving the mental health movement for horses. Think about those circles. When you're just loping endless circles, all you're doing to the most part is creating a robot mentality. You're not developing an independent thinker. You're degrading the hock joints many times. So, and it doesn't have to rule your life. It really doesn't. And I'm living proof of that. As a mom, as a business owner, as a believer, as someone who, made it into the top 15 many times, but wasn't able to sustain those standings enough to qualify for the national finals, I had to find a way that worked. And what works for me is training in very, very, very condensed segments of time. And we're happy to share more about that throughout the year. You're in Top 15 Challenge. If you're not, sign in for free at top15challenge.com. One thing, Stephanie, I think you and I have actually talked about this as we become friends over the past, it's been 2.5 years now, going on 3. I didn't know this younger, and I wish that I had. When you have a feeling of depression, I didn't do enough, guilt, shame, someone taught me that if you will actually assign that like a persona, like you would never let an intruder come into your horse trailer. You wouldn't let an intruder come onto your property and load your horse or come into your house. You would take action and say, get off of my property.
Yeah.
But so often we don't assign that as a negative spirit.
Oh, yeah.
But it helped me to visualize that so that when I can recognize those thoughts coming in, I recognize that is a person of doubt in the spirit. That is a person of defeat. That is someone trying to attack my mind, my spirit, my body, my horses. And that gives me boldness to draw a line in the sand. How about you?
Yeah, I like that. How whoever told you that. That's a great analogy. And to add to it, yeah, really, just the next level is just to speak scripture over that, because that's exactly what Jesus did in the wilderness. Everything that Satan said to him as a temptation, he came back with scripture to combat it. So, when I face feelings of doubt or insecurity, yeah, I'll combat it with the scripture. If I've maybe gotten off a little bit, just pressure at times where you might end up being sharp, mostly with your family, or I'm just being transparent that then one that I'm reminded is in Philippians, he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it till the day of Jesus Christ. So knowing like that we are a work in progress,
Yeah.
And so, finding anthem scriptures to answer your question would be like the next thing I would add to is like add anthem scriptures to that, that lift you back up when he comes in to say you can't or you did. Yeah, you need to be reminded, okay, I failed today in this area. Well, he's still working on me. He's,
Yes.
so.
And don't assume the identity of a failure.
Right.
Just because it didn't go as planned, and just because maybe you got busy and you didn't set aside time to, have your spiritual walk with the Lord, you're not a failure.
Right. Oh yeah, I wasn't suggesting that. I just mean there are times when I can probably say maybe I didn't handle that situation the right way with my tone of voice, or
That's me every day.
Yeah.
It's something I work on, and I'm thankful for great mentors that I can watch under pressure.
Yeah.
And I see how they handle it with such poise and grace, and I'm a visual learner as well, guys. So it definitely helps to have a community and friendship with other believers for sure. So, and
Yep.
you've been that for me, even through this challenge when like I've been, it seems like time is very short, but when I text you how it's going, you're just so gracious. And let's talk about you as a sponsor. So United Country Real Estate, Tennessee Real Properties. What made you want to sponsor this saddle?
Supporting you. I wanted to support you because I know that you're different and you love the Lord. And not to say, and I want to make sure that it's because anybody can sponsor, but your spirit and knowing what you represent, that's teamwork. And so, yeah, I get asked for a lot of people, but I think if I say yes to everybody instead of no, then I can't say yes to the ones that the Lord wants me to say yes to. So, and I knew, I told my husband, I said, I have to say yes to Kendra. I might, next year I'll do bigger, but I'm here as long as you want me to be a sponsor, but because I want to support you.
I genuinely appreciate that. So she's saying yes to you guys. You're why we're doing it. Okay, so this saddle donation, which by the way, we started in August. I've said that many times during the Top 15 Challenge. Stephanie Cross was the first sponsor to step up to the plate. And even at the first day we talked on phone. I'm in, Kendra. What do I need to do? Where do I need to order the saddle from? Is it okay if I order from my friend? Absolutely. So tell us about your friend. And she also is being very gracious. If you don't need a 14-inch barrel saddle, that's fine. So the manufacturer will allow whoever wins to trade it into what you do need.
Yeah. So Felicia Carlton, Horse Tech World, she puts a lot of saddles, not just her brand, which would be Circle Y Horse Tech World, but she sells a lot of different, and so she has a lot of happy clients. Yep, I sell real estate over there close to where her store is, and I knew that she'd jump on board. So
she's a hoot.
She is
So
a hoot.
you connected us, and she and I talked for close to an hour. I was driving to Waco for the WPRA finals in November, and she's so passionate about the horse industry and taking care of horse people and taking care of horses. And it sounds like you, she's just a very hard worker and
she is.
loves what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're excited to have her support as well.
For sure.
All right, now let's talk about real estate. How did you end up using your horse-based experience? How did that come into land sales, and what do you do different from them just Googling another realtor in your area?
Okay, so first question. So how did I get into it?
Mhm.
I actually got into it, I came from a place of need. I felt like I needed to help him financially, but yet not having family in Tennessee, and his family not being close, I needed to be in a position where I could be my own boss.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that would be something I would be good at because I can help those. I grew up with cattle and horses, and you need a specific agent. You don't need just an agent that's showing luxury homes. It's an entirely different animal. And that a lot of people don't know, but Tennessee has natural resources. We have an abundance of gas, and we also have oil, minerals. And so, it was right up my alley, but it came from a place of need. I jumped in, got into real estate, actually started out more residential and didn't like it. It wasn't me. True story. Somebody told me, if you're going to make it up here in Knoxville or Maryville, you're going to have to sell your truck and get a Mercedes Benz. So I was like, no, I don't think so. Nothing against anybody that wants to have one, but that's not me. And most of these farmers and landowners are independent thinkers, and they wouldn't probably want to work with me if I showed up in a Mercedes Benz. But they know, they can sniff out the authentic from non-authentic. And like I said, they're independent thinkers. They want to work with people that understand the land, what it takes, what horses need, what ag need, and then too, it goes in many different directions: timber, natural resources, if your state has them. So it was a no-brainer for me. And do I sell some homes? Yes, but preferably farms with homes, not just your general home in a subdivision. Just because that's just not where the Lord has built me. I mean, land is my thing. We were called to steward the land, and we were told to go possess the land. So that's
Amen.
Yeah. I get excited about it.
So since 2020, I think there are a lot of people questioning, where their lives are at right now. We see a lot of people, leaving urban areas.
Yeah.
They're reevaluating, what they've done to make a living. We see people moving into the country more.
Yeah.
The brand Stall High personally wants to help if you've been in the saddle and maybe you're already in the 1D or you're already, roping 2-3 second times, but you want to go to the next level. We're here for you. We also want to help people who are brand new to the horse industry. I want to save them the hardship, the physical risk, the financial risk, so that they have someone to talk to every day of the week for help, so that their horse ownership journey is expedited, it's safe, and it's as rewarding as it can be. So tell us, what are some things a person needs to know before they flee the city and come to Tennessee to purchase a horse property?
Getting connected with an agent that understands the property type that they're looking for. I think that's the biggest thing. And I can help beyond Tennessee. We have, our company is through the United States. So I've got referral connections that I can pair them with. So if they say, I don't have a really good agent in Texas, then I can pair them with an agent that knows how to get them set up.
Arizona, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana,
Yes, ma'am.
Arkansas. Come on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
Here's your girl right here, Stephanie Cross. United Country Real Estate, Tennessee Real Properties. I've been so blessed to have, I don't know how many phone conversations we've had over the years, but there was just an immediate connection. I think the first day we ever talked, we just knew.
Yep.
Yeah.
me too. I told Tim, I'm like, I know that I'm supposed to do stuff with Kendra. Because you can feel it in your spirit.
Yeah.
And so all you have to do is ask, because I know your vision in your heart. So you care about people, you love people. That's what I say, love is everything, with him. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. But I always like to break it down, because love, for he so loved the world, so love. And in my spirit, I felt like, she's got that same vision of loving others. And that's where it starts, was with love. So I can break it down a little bit more as far as that, what I've seen out of that one scripture. But yeah, the feelings were mutual. And I told Tim right away, I'm going to work with Kendra in whatever way, if she needs help, I don't.
Yeah.
So,
And you still
Just gonna
haven't made
continue.
it to my place yet with your horses, but we're working on it.
we will.
It's on the dream list. We actually did an in-person clinic the week of WPRA finals for my interactive members at Stall High. Several of them were able to attend. We understand if you can't make it the whole week. We're going to be doing more, we call it ranch to rodeo. We have an opportunity to bring your horse to the ranch. We can work in person and then carry over what you're learning to a competitive setting, because we live right down the street from Fort Worth. And so Cowtown Coliseum in the stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas, if it's your first rodeo or if it's your first rodeo back from a long-term layoff, or maybe you had an accident that rattled your confidence, we want to help you walk through that. And thanks to Stephanie Cross and amazing sponsors like United Country Real Estate, Tennessee Real Properties. I'm so glad you wear that, because I've been saying Tennessee Real Properties, but it actually starts with United Country Real Estate.
Well, I just bought the mobile franchise in August. So yeah, they are salt of the earth. And I turned them down 3 times. They had seen my website and said, you really fit the culture of the company, because we're known for #1 in the nation for auction services and more of the rural country lifestyle properties since 1925. And I said, yeah. And he said, just even if you tell me no at lunch, just to share, that's okay. Yeah, but you really fit the culture of the company. So my husband said, just go, just listen to them. And yeah, it was a quick decision to be able to be linked with another real estate firm, because I was with another pretty big name one, but our views, really didn't align. But to be able to have at our trainings and everything, to have prayer before meal says a lot about a company.
Yes, it
Very.
does.
They're salt of the earth. I don't know, and they understand rural properties. Do we sell more than that? Yeah, we sell luxury properties in Costa Rica and just luxury properties. But as a whole, we're known since 1925 for selling lifestyle properties, rural and farms.
So if someone's considering selling their horse property, are you in a position to do consultation?
Absolutely.
Have them reach out to you. Okay.
For sure.
So if you want to know how to speak with Stephanie Cross in person, just download the Stall High app. When you go to Top 15 Challenge, there's a special button for our amazing sponsors, and you can find her link right there. You can also reach out to us. We're happy to connect you. Just shoot us an email, info@stallhigh.com. We're happy to help you. If you have other horse needs, let us know what they are. Top 15 Challenge is something we're doing during the national finals. It's an online activation. It's an online event where we're answering the toughest questions in pro rodeo. Mentally, how do these athletes get here? Physically, either how do they stay fit or how do they handle pain management, in themselves and in their horses. Spiritually, how much does faith factor in? And what's my fourth one, Shelley? Mental, spiritual, finance, and physical. Those are the four.
Yeah.
So though it's been really interesting to see everyone's different perspective. I've yet to have anyone say that faith doesn't factor in as part of it. That's awesome. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is. And then it's interesting. I've been able to catch some of the videos, and that's what really stands out to me. And that's what stood out to me about United Country Real Estate. Again, we don't separate anybody, but it matters when that's important to you. To be, because we understand one another. We're speaking the same language.
Yes.
But we also want to speak that language to others that don't know as well, so that they.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, way back when people would talk about faith or hearing from the Lord, I got all itchy. Like I was hunting the exit. Like, where's the door? Like, this is not for me. I don't get it. I don't fit in. I'm not them. I'm not part of that crowd. I heard today was one of those mornings for me where I didn't get my typical journal time. I was having to listen to a podcast by Doug Addison while I was getting ready, and our precious, partner at Stall High, Lori Roth, she's been down for a couple of days. She's not feeling well at all. So we had to make a quick run to Walgreens. But I hear Doug talking about I have to replay that in my mind. See, there we go. Like keeping up with it all. It was a podcast this morning. I was making time for him. Tennessee Real Properties. It was about faith and about prayer. You don't even realize how powerful it is until you need it. Until you're in a position where like, this is like family emergency, or I'm in so much physical or mental pain right now. I'm willing to try it. I had to get to that point.
Oh yeah, big too. I had to have the rug pulled out from underneath. I came from a family, like growing up in church. My grandfather was a pastor, but was I living for the Lord? No. So yeah, but he loves us, and he's long suffering, and he relentlessly pursued me. But through that too, I did, like, the rug got pulled out from underneath me. A lot of different things happened, and could have broken most, but at that point, I said yes, because he drew the line in the sand with me. I felt like it was like, you're not going to toe the line anymore. And that's when the changes came. Doesn't mean that I'm flawless, no, but we're maturing. And like I said in the beginning, he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it, which in Greek means to mature, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It means to mature until the day of Jesus Christ. So that's one of my anthem is that he's still working on me. He's still working on Kendra.
Yep.
And if you say yes to him, he'll never quit us. It's we at times that quit him, but he will never quit us. So,
well, and it's not about being flawless.
no, because he never said that it would be. Yeah.
She may say she's not flawless, but she's sure looking
Oh,
fabulous.
did I say that?
No.
Oh,
I said I'm not flawless. I'm not flawless either. Nobody's flawless, but you look fantastic. Your life is abundantly blessed. You're so quick to credit Father God for your blessings and for bringing you through the hardships. So it is possible, guys. If you feel like you're in a slump, if you feel like you're stalled in any part of life, that's really what motivates us most at Stall High. That's what motivates us here at Top 15 Challenge. That's why Stephanie Cross is a sponsor of what we're doing. So I want you challengers to tell us of a time when your faith was challenged. And if you've already gotten through the other side, will you please share that testimony so that it can encourage other people who may feel like they don't know which step to take next. Now, if you feel like you're in that stall, like, I don't understand why nothing works. I feel like I've tried everything. I've even tried praying, but it just seems like God's mad at me or God's not listening. Well, if you feel comfortable, will you please share that in your top 15 challenge as well, so that we as a community can help support you. We are not here to condemn you. We are not here to judge you. We are not here to say it's about being perfect. It's about doing more and it's about loading more circles on your horse. We're actually the extreme opposite of that. So if that resonates with you in any way, I'm Kendra Dixon. I'm here with my good friend Stephanie Cross. We have amazing a team of people. We're interviewing rodeo athletes to share the wisdom to save you the hardship. Even if it's one day of hardship that we can save you, it's worth it. Stephanie, thank you so much for being part of this.
It's exciting.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We're going to keep you updated in Top 15 Challenge. We're going to catch up this afternoon. Our first athlete of the day, we've had to be flexible, right? So we had a 10 a.m. scheduled, and that got rescheduled. So we will let you know in the Top 15 Challenge group in Stall High. Tomorrow, when that interview will be, tomorrow, it's going to be a full day of interviews. So get ready. Your homework in the Top 15 Challenge today is, if you've already come through hardship and you feel like you have a testimony to share, share it. We want to hear it. If you feel like you're stuck somewhere and you're willing enough to reach out, we want to help you with that. Tell me, what about Stephanie Cross caught your attention today? And would you recommend United Country Real Estate, Tennessee Real Properties, and why? So there's your homework in Top 15 Challenge. If you are watching on a different platform like TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and you're watching live right now, you can sign in for free at top15challenge.com. You're going to have an opportunity to win this grand prize saddle, sponsored by this amazing lady right here, Stephanie Cross. You're also going to have an opportunity when you take that Cactus VIP upgrade to the backstage. You have a chance to win an extreme gel pad. It's relentless. You said that word, relentless, a minute ago.
Yeah.
How God pursues us relentlessly. So you can win an extreme gel pad every day of the finals. We've got these awesome trucker caps, a lanyard fit coming up, Stall Eyes, and it's your opportunity to gain world champion wisdom from wherever you're at. We're gonna put it in the palm of your hand digitally. So I'm so glad you're here. Stephanie, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you guys in the next video.